What if I told you The Simpsons saw it all coming? From hologram performances bringing music legends back to life, to self-driving cars taking over our roads, this iconic show has a history of predicting the future with eerie accuracy. But it doesn't stop there. The Simpsons may have even foreshadowed the bizarre censorship of Michelangelo's David and the unstoppable rise of Baby Shark. Coincidence? Or something more? Stick around as we break down the top 10 Simpsons predictions that are coming true right now. Smart glasses. In Lisa's wedding, we see a glimpse of a futuristic world where people wear glasses with built-in screens to access information and communicate seamlessly. At the time, this seemed like a fun but exaggerated prediction of technology, as wearable smart devices were not a common concept in 1995. However, in 2012, Google announced its Google Glass project, a revolutionary step in augmented reality AR eyewear, allowing users to browse the internet, check notifications, and use voice commands, all from a pair of glasses. Although Google Glass never gained widespread consumer adoption, the idea paved the way for smart glasses from major tech companies like Microsoft, Meta, and Apple. Today, smart glasses are evolving rapidly, integrating augmented reality AR, artificial intelligence AI, and real-time data overlays to enhance user experience. Devices like the Microsoft HoloLens and Meta's AR glasses allow users to see digital content projected onto the real world, a concept The Simpsons portrayed nearly 2 decades before it became commercially viable. The rise of AR and smart glasses continues to gain traction, with companies experimenting with voice-activated assistants, gesture-based controls, and immersive virtual overlays. Apple's Vision Pro headset, announced in 2023, took things even further by merging virtual reality, VR, and AR technology, providing an experience remarkably similar to what The Simpsons envisioned. One of the most striking similarities between The Simpsons prediction and real life is how the show depicted glasses being used as an everyday communication tool. In modern times, smart glasses are being designed for seamless interaction with digital interfaces, including hands-free calling, facial recognition, and AI-generated content suggestions. The potential for AR-enhanced navigation, real-time language translation, and entertainment streaming makes smart glasses a technology that aligns almost perfectly with the vision The Simpsons presented in 1995. While we are still in the early stages of fully functional AR eyewear, the rapid advancement of smart glasses suggests that The Simpsons prediction will continue to unfold in the coming years. Whether it was a lucky guess or a keen observation of emerging tech trends, the show once again demonstrated its ability to foresee the evolution of modern technology long before it became reality. In Lisa's wedding, we see a glimpse of a futuristic world where people wear glasses with built-in screens to access information and communicate seamlessly. At the time, this seemed like a fun but exaggerated prediction of technology, as wearable smart devices were not a common concept in 1995. However, in 2012, Google announced its Google Glass project, a revolutionary step in augmented reality AR eyewear, allowing users to browse the internet, check notifications, and use voice commands, all from a pair of glasses. Although Google Glass never gained widespread consumer adoption, the idea paved the way for smart glasses from major tech companies like Microsoft, Meta, and Apple. Today, smart glasses are evolving rapidly, integrating augmented reality AR, artificial intelligence AI, and real-time data overlays to enhance user experience. Devices like the Microsoft HoloLens and Meta's AR glasses allow users to see digital content projected onto the real world, a concept The Simpsons portrayed nearly 2 decades before it became commercially viable. The rise of AR and smart glasses continues to gain traction, with companies experimenting with voice-activated assistants, gesture-based controls, and immersive virtual overlays. Apple's Vision Pro headset, announced in 2023, took things even further by merging virtual reality, VR, and AR technology, providing an experience remarkably similar to what The Simpsons envisioned. One of the most striking similarities between The Simpsons prediction and real life is how the show depicted glasses being used as an everyday communication tool. In modern times, smart glasses are being designed for seamless interaction with digital interfaces, including hands-free calling, facial recognition, and AI-generated content suggestions. The potential for AR-enhanced navigation, real-time language translation, and entertainment streaming makes smart glasses a technology that aligns almost perfectly with the vision The Simpsons presented in 1995. While we are still in the early stages of fully functional AR eyewear, the rapid advancement of smart glasses suggests that The Simpsons prediction will continue to unfold in the coming years. Whether it was a lucky guess or a keen observation of emerging tech trends, the show once again demonstrated its ability to foresee the evolution of modern technology long before it became reality. Hologram performances. In Bart to the Future, a hologram of a deceased musician performs a concert, eerily foreshadowing the real-world rise of holographic performances in the entertainment industry. At the time the episode aired in 2000, the idea of using holograms for live performances was more science fiction than reality. However, in 2012, a holographic Tupac Shakur stunned audiences at Coachella, marking a turning point in entertainment technology. The Coachella performance of Tupac's hologram was so realistic that it left many people questioning if it was a pre-recorded video or a live digital recreation. Following the success of this performance, several other deceased musicians, including Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Roy Orbison, and Frank Zappa, have been digitally resurrected to perform on stage in front of live audiences. The technology behind these holograms is a combination of motion capture, CGI animation, and projection technology, allowing artists to appear as if they are physically present. Companies like Base Hologram and Pulse Evolution have capitalized on this innovation, bringing back legendary performers for concerts and even full-scale tours. What makes The Simpsons prediction even more intriguing is that it wasn't just a throwaway gag. It depicted the concept years before it became a reality. The idea of digitally bringing back iconic musicians to perform for new generations was still far from mainstream when this episode aired. Yet today, it has become a booming business. While some argue that holographic performances lack the authenticity of a live artist, others appreciate the ability to experience their favorite musicians in a way that would have been impossible otherwise. The success of these digital concerts suggests that holographic entertainment will continue to evolve, with AI-powered performances, interactive virtual concerts, and even VR-integrated experiences on the horizon. Once again, The Simpsons showcased an incredible ability to predict technological trends that would transform pop culture. Whether intentional or not, this episode serves as yet another example of how the show's satirical take on the future became eerily accurate. In this episode, a hologram of a deceased musician performs a concert, eerily similar to the real-life trend of posthumous hologram performances. In 2012, a holographic Tupac Shakur performed at Coachella, stunning audiences. Since then, other deceased artists, including Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and Roy Orbison, have been recreated as holograms for live performances. Self-driving cars. In Bart Carney, the Simpsons visit a carnival, where they encounter a self-driving vehicle that ends up malfunctioning and crashing into a wall. At the time, the idea of a car driving itself without human input was a futuristic fantasy, something reserved for science fiction movies and comedic exaggerations. Fast forward to the present, and self-driving cars are not only real, but are actively being tested and deployed by companies like Tesla, Waymo, Uber, and General Motors. The development of autonomous vehicles, AVs, has transformed the automotive industry, with tech giants investing billions into creating cars that can navigate traffic without a driver. One of the most well-known companies in the autonomous vehicle space is Tesla, whose autopilot and full self-driving FSD software allows Tesla vehicles to handle lane changes, braking, and even highway navigation. Meanwhile, companies like Waymo, owned by Alphabet/Google, and Cruise, owned by GM, have gone even further, deploying fully driverless taxis in select cities like San Francisco and Phoenix. While self-driving technology has made impressive strides, It still faces major challenges, including regulatory issues, safety concerns, and unpredictable road conditions. Even today, autonomous cars occasionally make mistakes, misinterpret traffic signals, or fail to recognize pedestrians, leading to concerns over how soon they will be fully adopted for widespread public use. Before we continue with the video and my further investigations of Simpsons Predictions, I want to ask for your help. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs to further support our research, so I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out. Okay, let's continue. What's fascinating about the Simpsons prediction is how it portrayed the potential risks of self-driving cars long before they existed. The idea of a self-driving vehicle losing control and crashing is still a major safety fear among consumers today. Despite being intended as a joke in 1998, the scene in Bart Carney eerily mirrors real-world incidents, such as when Tesla's autopilot system has been involved in crashes due to sensor malfunctions or software errors. With companies continuing to refine the technology, fully autonomous cars may one day become the norm, potentially eliminating human error from driving. But just like The Simpsons predicted, the road to that future may still be filled with unexpected challenges and a few hilarious mishaps along the way. The censorship of Michelangelo's David and Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, the citizens of Springfield take issue with Michelangelo's famous statue of David, protesting that its nudity is inappropriate and demanding it be covered. At the time, this was a satirical take on censorship and moral panic, exaggerating how some groups might react to historical artworks. However, The Simpsons once again proved to be ahead of its time when a real-life controversy surrounding Michelangelo's David occurred in 2016. In St. Petersburg, Russia, a group of activists called for the iconic Renaissance masterpiece to be covered up or removed, arguing that its nudity was inappropriate for public display. The protest mirrored the absurdity of the Springfield citizens' overreaction in The Simpsons, where they wanted the statue censored despite its immense cultural and artistic significance. The censorship debate didn't stop there. In 2023, a Florida school principal was forced to resign after parents complained that students were shown images of Michelangelo's David during an art lesson. Some parents labeled the statue as pornographic, sparking international outrage from educators and art historians. This incident further validated The Simpsons prediction, highlighting how even centuries-old classical art can become the subject of modern-day censorship debates. This episode of The Simpsons was a critique of how easily public outrage can be misdirected, especially when it comes to art and media. While intended as satire, the real-world parallels are striking. The idea that a world-famous, historically celebrated sculpture could be considered inappropriate and subjected to calls for censorship seemed absurd in 1990, yet multiple instances of public outcry against Michelangelo's David have since occurred. Beyond just David, similar censorship debates have arisen regarding other classical artworks, including those displayed in museums and public spaces. Some institutions have even altered or recontextualized exhibits in response to modern sensitivities. Once again, The Simpsons managed to predict the growing cultural divide over artistic expression, proving that even a centuries-old masterpiece isn't immune to controversy in the modern world. Baby Shark's rise to fame in yokel chords. A group of children sings a repetitive, overly catchy song.
The hillbilly tykes will become my tooties.
It also eerily foreshadowed the rise of one of the most viral songs in modern history, Baby Shark.
Baby shark doo 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 doo.
Fast forward to 2016, and Baby Shark became an unstoppable internet sensation, gaining billions of views on YouTube and sparking a global phenomenon. Originally created as a campfire chant, the version popularized by Pinkfong, a South Korean children's brand, turned it into a worldwide hit. The song's repetitive lyrics, simple dance moves, and bright animations made it irresistible to children, much to the frustration of parents and caregivers, just like the song in The Simpsons episode. What makes The Simpsons prediction so uncanny is not just that they depicted a catchy, viral children's song, but that they specifically highlighted the way these songs can take over pop culture, spreading like wildfire. Baby Shark didn't just dominate YouTube. It became a Billboard charting single, a TikTok trend, a children's TV series, and even an arena chant at sporting events. It also inspired merchandise, live performances, and collaborations with major brands, making it one of the most commercially successful children's songs of all time. The viral nature of Baby Shark perfectly aligns with how The Simpsons portrayed the power of simple, repetitive songs to captivate young audiences and annoy everyone else. The show's writers may not have known about Baby Shark itself, but they certainly understood how the right combination of melody, repetition, and marketing can create a musical sensation. While many hoped Baby Shark would be a short-lived trend, it has continued to evolve into a full-fledged media franchise, proving that The Simpsons once again saw a cultural phenomenon before it happened. Whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying that Baby Shark has left a lasting mark on pop culture, just as The Simpsons predicted nearly a decade earlier. In Yokel Chords, a group of kids sings a repetitive, catchy song that sounds suspiciously like the viral hit Baby Shark, which became a worldwide phenomenon in 2016. Though not an exact match, the episode's depiction of an annoyingly popular children's song was eerily prophetic. The FIFA World Cup outcome. And you don't have to live like a referee. The Simpsons predicted that Germany would win the 2014 FIFA World Cup, and they did. The episode also referenced corruption within FIFA, which was exposed in real life just a year later. In this episode, Homer becomes a World Cup referee after proving he has a strong moral compass. While officiating the tournament, he sees firsthand the bribery and corruption that occurs within the soccer world. Eventually, Germany defeats Brazil in the finals, a shocking prediction that came true just months later when Germany beat Brazil 7-1 in the real-life 2014 World Cup semifinals and later won the championship. At the time the episode aired, Germany was considered a strong team, but the idea of them dominating Brazil, a historically dominant soccer powerhouse, seemed far-fetched. Yet, in July 2014, the real-life Germany versus Brazil match ended in a stunning 7-1 victory for Germany, marking one of the most embarrassing defeats in World Cup history. Germany then went on to defeat Argentina 1-0 in the final, securing their championship win, just as The Simpsons had predicted. Beyond the World Cup winner, the episode also foreshadowed the massive FIFA corruption scandal that erupted in 2015. In the real world, several high-ranking FIFA officials were indicted for accepting bribes and engaging in fraudulent activities, mirroring the match-fixing and bribery subplot in the episode. The scandal led to multiple arrests and resignations at the highest levels of FIFA, with the FBI and Swiss authorities launching investigations into the organization's corruption. This Simpsons prediction was eerily accurate, as it not only guessed the World Cup winner, but also exposed the shady dealings of FIFA, something that the world wouldn't fully uncover until a year later. Given how unpredictable sports tournaments can be, this remains one of the show's most impressive and precise predictions. Once again, The Simpsons proved that its satirical take on global institutions and major events can sometimes align uncannily with reality. Whether it was just a lucky guess or an insight into the sport's growing problems, this episode remains one of the most talked about sports predictions in television history. In this episode, The Simpsons predicted that Germany would win the 2014 FIFA World Cup, and they did. The episode also referenced corruption within FIFA, which was exposed in real life just a year later. The rise of esports. In Marge Gamer, Marge discovers the internet and unknowingly stumbles into the world of competitive online gaming. Meanwhile, Bart becomes obsessed with an online game called Earthland Realms, where he develops a powerful gaming persona and engages in virtual battles with other players. This episode humorously exaggerated the appeal of multiplayer online games, but in hindsight, it foreshadowed the meteoric rise of esports as a billion-dollar industry. At the time the episode aired in 2007, video games were still seen primarily as a casual form of entertainment, and professional gaming was not yet widely recognized as a serious career path. Competitive gaming tournaments existed, but they were relatively small, and major sponsors and investors had yet to enter the space. Fast forward to today, and esports is a global phenomenon. With games like League of Legends, Fortnite, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike, professional gamers compete for multi-million-dollar prize pools in sold-out arenas, with audiences watching both in person and via online streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube Gaming. What makes this prediction even more remarkable is that The Simpsons depicted gaming as a highly social and competitive activity, just as it is today. The episode showed players forming alliances, strategizing, and even engaging in in-game conflicts, all core aspects of modern esports. Professional gamers today are treated like celebrities, with sponsorship deals, brand partnerships, and massive fan followings. Major companies, including Coca-Cola, Red Bull, and even traditional sports teams, have invested in esports, proving that what was once a niche hobby has become a mainstream entertainment industry. The League of Legends World Championship, the International, Dota 2, and Fortnite World Cup now attract millions of viewers, rivaling traditional sporting events like the Super Bowl. Another interesting element from the Simpsons episode was the way Marge initially dismissed gaming as a waste of time, reflecting how older generations often struggled to understand the appeal of video games. Today, gaming is recognized as a viable career path, with universities offering esports scholarships and gaming teams competing at the collegiate level. Once again, The Simpsons accurately predicted a massive cultural shift before it fully took shape. What was once just a fun parody of gaming culture turned into an eerily accurate forecast of the future of esports. In Marge Gamer, Bart becomes obsessed with competitive online gaming, foreshadowing the rise of esports as a billion-dollar industry. Today, professional gamers compete in massive tournaments, and platforms like Twitch and YouTube Gaming have turned gaming into a mainstream career. The U.S. wins an Olympic gold medal in curling in Boy Meets Curl. Homer and Marge unexpectedly become involved in the sport of curling. They train, qualify for the Olympics, and go on to win an Olympic gold medal for Team USA by defeating Sweden, despite being underdogs. At the time, curling was not considered a major sport in the U.S., and the idea of an American victory over a dominant nation like Sweden seemed highly unlikely. Fast forward to 2018, and this exact scenario happened in real life at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The U.S. men's curling team, led by John Schuster, shocked the world by winning gold, defeating Sweden in the final match. This victory marked the first-ever Olympic. The U.S. excelling in curling was far-fetched. Countries like Canada, Sweden, and Norway traditionally dominated the sport, and the U.S. had never been seen as a serious competitor on the international curling stage. However, just like in the episode, real-life Team USA fought their way through both the episode and the real Olympics. The U.S. team struggles early on, but makes an incredible comeback. In 2018, the American team had a rough start to the tournament, but eventually pulled off a miraculous 5-point end against Sweden in the final match, securing their place in history. Even more eerie is the fact that John Schuster's real-life team mirrored the underdog energy of Homer and Marge's curling duo. While the Simpsons version played the story for laughs, it became a reality in one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history. Once again, The Simpsons proved their uncanny ability to predict the future, even in a sport where no one expected the U.S. to win gold. Whether it was luck or just a wild coincidence, this episode remains one of the show's most surprising and celebrated predictions. In this episode, Homer and Marge take up curling, and Team USA surprisingly defeats Sweden for the gold medal. In 2018, this exact scenario happened at the Winter Olympics, marking the first time the U.S. won curling gold. The rise of drone delivery. In Boy's a Bummer, a seemingly ordinary episode about Bart's baseball struggles, Springfield's skies are filled with drones performing deliveries, hinting at a futuristic world where drones replace human couriers. At the time, drone delivery was mostly a sci-fi fantasy, with only military drones being widely used. However, in the 2010s, major companies began actively developing drone-based delivery systems, bringing this Simpsons prediction to life. The biggest player in this space is Amazon, which announced its Amazon Prime Air program in 2013, aiming to deliver small packages via autonomous drones. Since then, companies like UPS, FedEx, and Walmart have also invested in drone delivery, conducting test flights, and rolling out pilot programs in select areas. By 2020, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, had begun approving commercial drone deliveries, allowing companies to begin integrating drones into their logistics networks. What makes the Simpsons prediction even more remarkable is the accuracy of the way drones are depicted. In the episode, the drones are shown as an everyday convenience, casually flying around Springfield as they drop off deliveries. Today, that vision is becoming reality, with grocery stores, pharmacies, and e-commerce retailers exploring ways to make drones a common part of last-mile delivery services. Several successful real-world drone delivery projects include Wing, owned by Alphabet Google, conducting drone deliveries of food, medicine, and household supplies in Australia, and the U.S. Zipline, delivering medical supplies to remote areas in Africa, and the U.S. Amazon Prime Air, running trials for small package deliveries in select locations. Although widespread drone delivery is still in development and regulation phases, the technology has made incredible strides since this Simpsons episode aired. Advances in AI navigation, lightweight drones, and battery efficiency are bringing us closer to a future where automated drones handle a significant portion of deliveries. Once again, The Simpsons managed to predict a major technological advancement long before it became a reality. What seemed like a comedic exaggeration in 2007 is now shaping the future of global logistics, proving that The Simpsons doesn't just entertain, it foresees the future. In Boys a Bummer, drones are seen flying around Springfield, performing deliveries. Today, Amazon, UPS, and Walmart are testing drone delivery services, with several companies already piloting them in select locations. The Matrix sequel and reboot craze. In Homer Loves Flanders, there is a blink-and-you-miss-it moment where a movie theater marquee advertises a sequel to The Matrix, despite the fact that the original Matrix movie wouldn't be released for another 5 years, 1999. This strange Easter egg turned out to be one of The Simpsons' most surreal predictions, as not only did The Matrix become a cinematic phenomenon, but it also spawned multiple sequels, reboots, and spin-offs, just as The Simpsons hinted at in 1994. At the time of this episode's airing, there was no indication that a movie like The Matrix was even in development. Science fiction films had yet to embrace the deep cyberpunk aesthetics and philosophical themes that The Matrix would later popularize. The Wachowskis' groundbreaking 1999 film, starring Keanu Reeves as Neo, revolutionized action cinema with its use of bullet time effects, reality-bending concepts, and artificial intelligence-driven dystopian narratives. However, what makes this prediction even more bizarre is how The Simpsons not only anticipated the film's release, but also predicted its inevitable sequel and reboot cycle. Just 3 years after The Matrix premiered, 2 back-to-back sequels, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, were released in 2003. The franchise then lay dormant for years, but in 2021, The Matrix Resurrections hit theaters, reviving the series once again. This phenomenon aligns with a common trend in Hollywood's obsession with reboots and sequels, where studios continue to revisit beloved franchises decades after their initial success. The Matrix franchise followed the same pattern as other legacy sequels, such as Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, and Ghostbusters: Afterlife, all long-awaited continuations of classic films. Was this Simpsons moment a lucky coincidence? Or did the writers have some mysterious insight into Hollywood's tendency to milk successful properties? While the theater marquee may have started as a random joke, it has become one of The Simpsons' most intriguing predictions about the future of the film industry. With Hollywood constantly reviving, remaking, and extending franchises, it wouldn't be surprising if The Simpsons ends up predicting yet another rebooted classic in the near future. Until then, fans will continue to marvel at how this animated sitcom managed to foreshadow the entertainment landscape decades ahead of time. In this episode, a movie theater marquee advertises the Matrix sequel, even though the original Matrix movie wouldn't release until 1999. Not only did The Matrix eventually get sequels, but in Fosse for 2021. The Matrix Resurrections was released, proving The Simpsons once again had a glimpse into Hollywood's future. So, are The Simpsons just really good at satire? Or do they have a crystal ball hidden in Springfield? From hologram superstars and self-driving cars to the unexpected controversy over Michelangelo's David and the Baby Shark phenomenon, these predictions are too wild to ignore. Whether it's sheer coincidence or something more, one thing's for sure. If The Simpsons joked about it, we might just be living it soon. What do you think they'll predict next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-blowing Simpsons predictions.